I've spent so much money. First of all, nothing is furnished. Nothing. If you need to rent something, I didn't even know that I had this privilege in Canada. Whenever you rent anything in Canada, unless it's just like a super small space, nothing is everything is furnished. Like, sometimes they'll even give you a table. But at the very least, there's a fridge, a dishwasher, and a laundry machine. Here, nothing. Nothing. You have to buy everything from scratch. I asked, my colleagues were probably like, every time I met up with like the Niji folks, I'd be like, okay, where did you get your laundry machine? I'd be like, how much is this? How much was that? Where did you get this? And they're like, I can't remember. I got this here and got it for this. People were giving me advice like, oh yeah, if you get this, you get points for this, and then you get this for free. And I was like, that's not good enough, guys. That's not good enough. That's too expensive. And that's not good enough. There's no way. I'm so stubborn. Or I'm just really cheap or something. I don't know. I was like, $1,000? I'm talking about Canadian. I convert everything into Canadian dollars. I was like, $1,300 for a fridge. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way I'm getting $1,300 fridge. What the fuck? I was like, nope. I went into these stores and I did not know how serious they were about like, advertising me to buy stuff. Not advertising, but I was like, I'm interested in buying a fridge, you know? And then they'd be like, okay, please sit down. And I was like, oh, okay. So there's a person who speaks English and then a person who speaks Japanese to kind of, I guess, help out. There were two of them. It was very intimidating. I was like, they sat me down and they were like, okay, so I heard that you were interested in buying a fridge. And I was like, yes. It's like, so here are the package deals. Honestly, like, we were there for 2 hours. Like, we sat there for 2 hours. And it was just 2 hours of, like, information. And these people got up, like, 3 times. Like, they got up together. I'd be asking them a question, like, okay, how does this work? And they'll be like, I was like, what if this is my situation right now? They would both get up and be like, shoushoumashi kudasai. Like, please give us a moment. And they'd, like, go to the back rooms or something and, like, discuss. I don't even know. Like, I don't know. They were, like, taking a toilet break together. Like, they were, like, besties. I was like, what is happening? Like, this is the 3rd time you've gotten up. What is so special about, like, my question that you need to... Like, they had to go to, like, their manager to ask or something? And I was just like, why does nobody know the answers to this? Like, So, like, after 2 hours, I was just super honest with them. I was just like, guys, I'm really tired. Like, I'm really tired. You were working so hard for, like, a foreigner who doesn't even speak any Japanese. I really appreciate it. I, like, translated it, and I tried to translate this on my phone so I could say it in the highest form of, like, keigo. I was like, 本当に申し訳ございませんですけど... You know, I was just like, I'm so supremely sorry. I was just like, I'm really tired. I will take all your information home and, like, you know, think about it. There's just a lot of information, and I also wanted to, like, you know, today I was just interested in looking at fridges and not really thinking about phone plans. So I'll take in all the information you give me and I'll take a look back at home and then come back when I've decided. And they're like, ようやくしましょうか. They were like, let's do it. Should we make a reservation for when you come back? I was like, oh my fucking god. They're like, well, how about next week, Monday? And then his colleague is like, oh, Monday I will not be here. But maybe you can ask this person to translate. I was like, you didn't even ask me if I was free on Monday. I'm not free on Monday. Or Tuesday, or Wednesday, or Thursday, or Friday, or Saturday, or Sunday. I'm never coming back here, man. I was like, you didn't even ask me if I was free. You're just making, like, a planning schedule amongst yourself. Like, I was like, I will come back on my own time, you know? I'll come back on my own time, and if you give me your business cards, like, I swear, I was, like, so big brain. I was like, look, if I take their business cards, they'll believe me a little bit more that I'll come back and look for them. I was like, here, look, if I do come back, I'll try to make you get the commission, okay? But, I am not gonna come back on Monday or Tuesday. I'm gonna come back when I wanna come back, okay? And they were so shocked. I was like, as soon as I said that I was gonna come back on my own terms, They sat there for like 8 whole seconds being super confused. They sat there, they're like, ちょっと待ってください. And then they like contacted their managers like, oh yeah, this customer seems like the Japanese speaker like had like a radio on him, and he contacted his managers like, お客様は疲れてみたいんです。だから今日は I was like, you really need to tell your manager that I'm not getting this because I'm tired? Like, really? I was like, okay. I think they're giving me a little bit of a decorated, personalized, customized campaign because maybe perhaps they're taking advantage of the fact that I couldn't speak Japanese, but honestly, I could understand a lot more than they think. Which was good on my part because then it shows that maybe it's not a good idea to work with people who want to take advantage of you. I had to cry to my dad. I was like, Dad, what's happening? They're like, oh yeah, you went to those stores. Like, don't go into those stores. If you're gonna go into those stores, just look at the fridges quietly by yourself. Don't tell people that you're thinking of buying something. I'm like, okay. It was so funny. Yeah, it was a huge culture shock. And it was really shocking for me because like, you know, I've lived in Japan before, like, but I guess I never lived so independently. And now I have seen how much my parents have shielded me and my friends who do live here. They shield me constantly. I have no idea that this was like a thing. I think a lot of the times people do go in and they're like, oh, it is a really good fridge, and you know what? Like, I don't even know where else to buy this fridge, so I think I'm just gonna buy it. But for me, I'm really stubborn. Well, especially now because I have to really put a lot of money into my medical funds. So for me, it is a really big deal whether I spend on something that's $1,000 more. Like it's a really big deal for me. So no matter how tired and confused I was like, I'm not gonna be buying this fridge today. I didn't get to see one fridge. I don't know what the fridge does. I'm just looking for a normal one, and I'm gonna try to look for one that's a little bit more in budget for me. So the good part of the story is that the next day I went to I researched a little bit and I looked for, you know, I didn't buy, but I was just like looking. I saw that there's like these places where they sell secondhand stuff, and they test it out too, so it's not like you're buying something faulty. And so I went to check out the store. It was really chill. It was a little bit outside of like, it was kind of far. It was like kind of in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, there were actually so many laundry machines and fridges that were a little bit more affordable. I found a fridge that was like $400 Canadian, a little bit over $400, but it was just as good. It holds like 400 liters of things, and yeah, it was like pretty much brand new. They were like, there's just like one dent or something, and I was like, this is so much more affordable. And so I decided to just get that one. Did they clean secondhand? Yeah, it was very clean. I made sure I opened it and I did a smell test. I asked them what the damage was, and nothing functional. The damage wasn't anything functional, and it was just like some dents on the side, but you could barely see it, especially if you plan on putting it against like a wall, sort of. And I was like, yeah, this is the one, $400. Yeah, it's like I have a new fridge now. It's really good, actually. It holds so much things. There's a lot of like compartments, and I was like, this is a really reasonable price. What color is it? I think it's kind of like almost like a sort of almost like a rose pink. I'm so happy about my fridge. I'm not even joking. It was so stressful, and then I felt like I went through like a war just to get in the end find like a really good fridge. Like, it's actually so perfect. I did get a secondhand laundry machine. That did not work out as well. Probably because I got it from like I just got it from like a second, like a used, you know, like Facebook Marketplace, like something like that, like very similar. I forgot what the site's name is. But yeah, the laundry machine was not as good. Like, I got it and it worked, but actually it was really dirty. It was so dirty. Like, it was a ridiculous amount of dirt, and I contacted the person who like sold it to me, and I was like, this laundry machine looks like it has not been cleaned for 10 years. And they're like, oh yeah, it's not mine, it's my parents. I was like, that's not, I don't care. Like, I was like, can you give me a further discount? This is like disgusting. I opened one compartment of the laundry machine, and there are like just like a bunch of fruit flies. I'm not even joking. It was like some Silent Hill shit. I was like, what the fuck is this? There's like a bunch of fruit flies. I was like, this is disgusting. I took a picture of this and I sent it to the guy who sold it to me. I was like, I don't know, man. I think you owe me like, you know, I think you should give me like at least like $100 for this. Like, this is disgusting. That's nasty. And then like that's not even all. Like, I opened another compartment. It's just like a bunch of lint, hair, dust, and I hadn't even used it yet. I like, a good thing I double checked. I like opened it and I was like, yeah, this is nasty. I can't. This is, I don't even know. I don't even want to put my clothes in. It was actually so nasty. I cleaned it. And everything seemed like it should be clean. So I did do a test run on some like, you know, like hand towels and stuff. Unfortunately, when it came out, it smelled really weird. It did not smell like mold, but it smelled kind of sussy. I just didn't really know what else to clean, so I ended up like hiring some professional cleaner to like take the laundry machine apart to like figure out why it was doing that. And the guy came in, he's like, wow, this is already really clean though. I was like, that's because I cleaned it. I showed him the pictures. He was like, oh yeah, I hope you got a partial refund. I was like, yeah, I did. It was disgusting. So the guy like took apart like the washing machine and you know, and cleaned like the parts where you can't clean just by like, you know, like you need to be a professional to do this because like if I took it apart, I wouldn't really know how to put it back on. Like it was kind of complicated. And he did like a really deep clean. And now the washer is fine. Actually, it works very well. And I got like a partial refund for it because it was so dirty. So I ended up getting it for like $500, which is really good actually. Like it was already secondhand, but because it was dirty, I asked for a refund, and then it became like $500. Although I did have to pay like $200 for like the cleaners, so I guess it goes back up to like $700. But you know what? It's fine. Like it's a really good washer. It's like a 2-in-1, and like, you know, that's the gamble with used stuff. Yeah, it is. I mean, I got a really good gamble on the fridge, and not so good on the laundry machine, but I think everything worked out. The only thing is they just took so much time. That's why it took so much time. Like I didn't simply just buy something. It was just harder to get stuff, you know. I'm just too stubborn. I'm sorry guys. That's why I haven't been streaming. It's just been like trying to really set up my home. I really recommend that if you guys ever think of moving, to really use like to buy like secondhand stuff, especially if you like have the energy to kind of research about it. Like obviously there's always a risk, but for the most part, like if you research well, secondhand stuff is really good. Like they sell for much cheap, and especially if you buy, like what I recommend is buying from a store that sells secondhand stuff, because they usually give warranty and they test it too. So you have their sort of like reassurance. And they usually like, I don't know, maybe it's just Japan and they do things properly, but at least like in the store, secondhand stuff is pretty clean. And then you can always clean it yourself too. I think like spending a little bit of time cleaning it yourself is a good idea. The laundry one I got from online, so of course I didn't get to inspect it first. So that was my mistake. So that's why I recommend getting secondhand stuff mostly from like stores, so then you can actually see it. But yeah, like secondhand stuff is great. I think like it's always nice to get something new, and you know, it just feels like, you know, it's yours and no one's touched it. It's not dirty, but you are paying like a lot of money for it. And if you prefer that, then you know, of course, that's your choice. But I think like, you know, using something that someone's used before and it's pretty much brand new, like function-wise, is a really good like compromise for people who want to save, and I think like there's some sort of like I don't know, I kind of feel better about it too, because it's just like, oh, you know, somebody's passing on something they don't need anymore, and I'm giving it a new home. It kind of feels like adoption, you know, but maybe not the same way, but yeah. It depends on the country. Japan has a good rep for secondhand goods. That is true. I have to say, like, I do trust Japan's secondhand goods a little bit more than Canada, just because like people here really take care of things. But of course, like, you know, it also just comes down to like a little bit of intuition. Like, I didn't get a really good washer in the beginning from the guy who sold it, because I also assumed that you kept it clean, but he really didn't, and it was actually like the dirtiest thing I've ever seen in my life. So, you know, I think you need a little bit of like intuition and stuff just to kind of feel it out. But I do still recommend secondhand stuff. I think it saves a lot of money. So, yeah, and you're also kind of like, you know, not feeding into the consumerism as much, hopefully.